Geoff Keighley is a powerhouse in the video game industry. Some might even call him the face of video games, with his long pedigree of game journalism and event hosting. However, the story of Geoff Keighley goes much deeper than we ever thought before. Throughout his career, Geoff has used his influence to not only create his position, but to silence anyone else that might challenge him. He has shown he will stop at nothing to fulfill his destiny. What is his destiny? Well, according to his Wikipedia page, Keighley's early career started on June 24th, 1978. What else happened on June 24th, 1978? The birth of Geoff Keighley. It's such a small slip-up, such a minute detail to have slipped through the cracks. But it gives us a chilling insight into this conspiracy, proving that Geoff Keighley has been bred to run and control the gaming industry. To understand the levels he's gone to, we need to go back to Geoff Keighley's first appearance in the industry, when he was still in his teen years. Cybermania 94 was the first of its kind, a video game award show for cartridge and computer games. Geoff is credited as the interactive product specialist. But we know that's a cover, because if you go throughout the credits and take the names and line them up, you will see Geoff Keighley's name throughout. Are these people pawns of Geoff? Are they even real?
I worked on that because there's a friend of my dad's in Toronto was the guy who was producing it, and they called me and said, hey, we don't know anything about video games, can you help us make this show? And so I got to write the narration for the nominee packages that William Shatner read.
That's not even the craziest part. The show opens up with two announcers, one of which is Leslie Nielsen. Now, Leslie Nielsen is known more today for his comedic roles, such as Airplane and Naked Gun. But did you know that's not where his career started? He was actually a famous dramatic actor in films such as The Poseidon Adventure. His gravitas and stoic demeanor helped him to play the more serious roles very convincingly, which made his swap to comedic roles with a deadpan delivery that much more entertaining. Leslie wasn't chosen to host this show by chance. He's a sign. The shift in Leslie Nielsen's career from no-nonsense dramatic actor to comedy genius is a parallel that Geoff put right in our face that no one saw. This is what Geoff was planning to do. Shift the industry like we've never seen before. He drives this point home further by bringing out an insane guest.
And now, to boot up Cybermania 94, a very special guest. Please welcome the First Lady of the United States.
That's right. First Lady of the United States, Hillary Clinton herself. She plugs in a computer and is promptly blown up by the host. Hillary represents the government, putting restrictions on the gaming space with the founding of the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, the ESRB. As Nielsen plugs in the computer, setting off a shockwave that rocks the First Lady, so too will Geoff plug into the industry, sending explosive new trends into the mainstream. Geoff was planning to change everything. He was going to be at the epicenter, and no one, not even the government, would stand in his way.
You were to be stranded on an island, and you could pick between eating only Doritos or drinking only Mountain Dew, what would you pick?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think
Keighley didn't stop for a moment. As soon as he graduated college, he was hired by G4 and helped create the G4 Video Game Awards. In 2006, he worked with Spike TV to create their own video game award show. Throughout the 2000s, Keighley went to every network he could to create video game media coverage. Nickelodeon, Discovery Channel, MTV, GameSpot, GameStop. He was the face you could trust to bring you the news you needed to hear. But it still wasn't enough. He was young. He was hungry. He was thirsty.
you gotta have the liquid, right?
There was just one problem. He was only the face of gaming. He wanted to be the mind. So he did what no one expected. He started the Game Awards. No network, no branding. It was the Video Game Awards. Every outlet he worked at couldn't dare be so bold, because Geoff convinced them not to, because Geoff set up the competition. He convinced them branding with their name was important, so that one day he could have the title for himself. Every other award show had fallen by the wayside. G4 and Spike TV were no more. There was just one more step in his master plan.
Are you guys ready for E3?
The Electronics Entertainment Expo became entranced by Geoff's gypsy spell and contracted him as a host for the years of 2017 through 2019. He had finally done it. After attending every E3 press conference, he was calling the shots. He made the announcements. He showed the trailers. He was now the face of the biggest gaming news conference in the world.
Hello, internets.
However, his spell began to wear off, and E3 cut ties with him to create a fan, media, and influencer festival for their 2020 show. Geoff was furious. Everything he worked for on the brink of collapse. His plan for ultimate control would not be stopped. This is what he was born to do, so he did the only thing he could. The last-ditch effort.
Hey everyone, Derek here with a quick news update on E3 2020, and it is official. The ESA has canceled the convention.
With the global pandemic in full swing, E3 2020 was canceled. The risk was too great, the cost too high.
So E3 is canceled, now what?
And who was there to save the day? Geoff Keighley, as he launched the Summer Games Fest in 2020. Tell me, what's better than hosting the biggest gaming news event of the year? Owning the biggest gaming news event of the year and running it all summer long. Now, every publisher and developer had to bow to the behest of King Keighley, begging him for any amount of time in the show just for the chance that someone might see their game. There was nowhere else to turn. Nintendo Directs had been banned. Sony stopped making games entirely at this point. Xbox was doing Xbox things. With one fell swoop, Geoff's domination of the video game news sector was complete. But how did he do it? How could someone so charismatic and front-facing be behind such a catastrophe? Well, how would anyone learn how to spread a deadly virus across the globe? Research. In 2014, Keighley partnered with Sony to create The Last of Us, One Night Live.
Look at her, Joel. Look at her. You can still do the right thing, Joel.
No. Die! Die! Die!
The Last of Us, the critically acclaimed video game series with a story heavily focused on a widespread pandemic. Geoff learned all he needed to. All the pathogens, all the transmission methods. But how did he keep Sony quiet? Obviously, they knew he was responsible. They couldn't just let him slide. That's when Geoff made them an offer they couldn't refuse. The sequel to The Last of Us would go on to win every single award at the Game Awards, hosted by Geoff Keighley in 2020. Do you see it yet? Cybermania, G4, Spike, Game Awards, Game Fest. For the past 30 years, Geoff Keighley has been pulling the strings. While he's showing trailers for games, we are the Muppets in his ultimate game. The game of control, but not that one. Actual control. The control of ideas, the control of information, the control of disease. With the level of influence he has, some might call him the industry plant. But Geoff Keighley isn't an industry plant. Geoff Keighley is the industry itself. Thank you guys for watching. This is SJM reporting from an undisclosed location. Until next time, ILY, JLY.